Everyone keeps ranking the same heroes in Call of Dragons tier list, but almost nobody is talking about the Mardok, and that blind spot is costing players real value in the actual Call of Dragons gameplay. Welcome back, Commanders. In this ultimate Call of Dragons Mardok guide, I will finally break down Mardok. We're going to talk about where this hero is most efficient, we're going to speak about the pets, artifacts, basically everything you need to know about the Mardok. And first thing, most important one, where is the place of this hero? Obviously it's not for gathering, let's start from there, but this hero is one of the, if not the best epic, it's basically the best epic cavalry hero so far. Before that, people was trying to make some abominations with the cavalry legions, for example Nico, Falgrim. I have seen I have seen some crazy stuffs going on there, not gonna lie. If you're a cavalry main, you know what I'm talking about. But with the game progressing, we get presented Mardok. I cannot say it's one of the latest heroes, maybe it's one of the latest heroes in the game presented in the period of like 6 months. So I actually decide to make a guide, ultimate guide or update guide with this bad boy. So the place of Mardok is in with cavalry as a commander. I want to point out this thing. Now we already I'm going to make also, you know, ultimate guide for Alistar, but for Mardok, and the difference between Mardok and Alistar is the tank tower tree, and here we have mobility. Boy oh boy, mobility is the way to go. Now what's most likely you want to have from the mobility, you want to have some overall speed. I think I have a video with the ultimate cavalry guide where, for example, you go with 51% march speed, or you go with 70 something percent march speed. I mean, this guide was from one of the best cavalry players in Call of Dragons, because I'm mage main, but yeah, I speak with a lot of top cavalry players in Call of Dragons, so you can go and check it out for overall picture. But here we're talking about the Mardok. So yeah, going with this bad boy and going with the mobility tower tree. The reason why I decided to go with the mobility tower tree, and why I think is the good one, because easily you can make synchronization between the talents of your hero. I mean, not the talents, but the march speed of your legions. And from where you can get extra march speed is going to be from the talent tree, and that's why I think Mardok should go with the mobility. Now the next thing is from point of spells of this hero. Obviously the spells is very solid. I was shocked back in the days when they present Mardok, but not anymore. We start used to see this hero perform very nicely. Randomly inflict the following effects upon the target. Damage factor 1000. If you're hitting the rage legion, immediately this hero is going to trigger his rage skill. So 1000 damage, there is a chance to go in enemy direction. Also inflict defense break 50%. This is the other thing he can actually inflict. Now, to not make my mistake back in the days when this hero get presented, I was so excited that I actually understand this spell, and this is randomly inflict. So you're going to get one of these three effects. And finally, fall apart deals diffused damage to the target legion and 2 surrounding legion, damage factor 600. So either going to be single target 1000, either is going to put a defense break 50% for 5 seconds, or is going to do AoE damage to the target legion and 2 surrounding legion, which actually make this hero very solid. Very solid. Whatever of these spells you actually get is going to serve you very, very nice. Especially for the rally, this 50% defense down is crazy. For 5 seconds is crazy. Now going further, this some extra rage giant is going to be 100%. Each time the legion get a buff while in the battle, is going to get some rage, and also is going to get some HP bonus for 3 seconds. Here we're having a restriction, is going to be for 3 seconds and can be triggered at one time every 8 seconds. So I have mixed feeling about this one, but it's a solid one. 20% HP and 100 rage. 100 rage is like 10% rage, so it's not that bad. Here we're having some Legion Cavalry March Speed bonus and physical attack bonus. Now March Speed bonus is extremely important to appear in the heroes that are Cavalry, because Cavalry are having the biggest March Speed in Call of Dragons. So everything that increase is going to increase the speed of these legions, and that's why there is a synchronization between the cavalry, because one of the cavalry can go extremely fast, and if you don't make some synchronization, it's just going to be very bad. The legion deals 10% more skill damage and take 5% less damage. And finally the awakening is not that bad. After casting a rage skill, the legion get keen extra 15% for 5 seconds. If one cycle, for example, you strike a ranged legion, immediately or trigger your rage skill, immediately you're receiving this extra 15% attack for 5 seconds. Immediately. This is how the things are at the end of the day. So the skills are very solid. Now we already talked about the talent tree, we already talked about the skills. By the way, again, for all of the because here we're needing synchronization. I didn't actually make going deep with Alistair guide, because this is a hero that we don't use that much with the cavalry. But for the synchronization, there is 2 videos, part 1 and part 2 for the cavalry, where I'm explaining basically everything you need to know for the cavalry till these days. From tier list, Call of Dragons tier list, everything you need to know. So yeah, this from point of the skills. Now let's talk about pets and let's talk about the artifacts. Now with Mardok, the most likely we want to have Kingslayer over this bad boy. I think every every artifact should work, but not exactly. Kingslayer is just doing pure damage. As you can see, it's like 3.6k pure damage, that's all. Obviously, if it's under 10% HP remaining, it's going to be defeated immediately, but the amount of damage this thing is doing, whatever is under 10% is going to die. Now, I don't suggest, for example, what was the name? That was Sorwan Blade. Yeah, Sorwan Blade. I don't suggest this artifact because it's giving you by passive this Legion March Speed. So you have 10% March Speed from Mardok, you have Mobility Talent Tree, and if you put this artifact, it may actually be way more the March Speed. So better save Sorwan Blade for legions where the heroes don't have March Speed by default in their 5 spells, and they don't have Mobility Talent Tree. Maybe this is the place where you want to use the Sorwan Blade. But Kingslayer is completely fine, and maybe is the best item for Mardok. Now, by knowing I don't go over rest of the artifacts. For example, this one is from Nea, this one is most likely for Urak. You know, I don't go that much in deep with rest of the artifacts, but Kingslayer I think is going to work perfectly well with Mardok. Now let's go over the pets. Since I actually don't have all of the pets, I'm going to just open my pets, especially the cavalry one, because they're a little specific. Now the first pet that I suggest for Mardok is going to be Auric Warhound. The reason behind is this pet is doing AoE damage. Mardok is having a chance to do AoE damage. It's also getting rage, like 100, some percentage to get 100. So yeah, it deals diffused physical attack to 2 enemy legions. So you want to have this AoE pet right there. This is Auric Warhound, and the war pet takes some percentage less damage each time the legion get rage. Each time the legion get rage via initial skill, and this is exactly what the skills of the Mardok are, giving you this 100 rage. Is going to get 1 stack of Auric Mark, max 5 stacks. Each stack of the increase the damage due by the next war pet skill by 1.1%. So this is Auric Warhound. The second one I suggest is going to be Blade Manticore. Why is that? AoE again. We're looking to get this type of pets that is doing AoE damage, and when you strike some player, because most of the times when you're moving your mages or marksmen, they're basically moving together. So when you strike, you basically have a chance to strike. You can do crazy AoE damage when you strike with your cavalry. With the artifacts, with the pets, with the heroes, you want to benefit from this. You definitely want to benefit from this. So yeah, this is the two pets I suggest for Mardok. So we go over the pets, we go over the artifacts, we go over, I think we actually missed the pairing, to be fair. So which one? Yeah, I have a specific video for the pairing and exact 5 legions you want to use. Just go on my channel and check it out. It's just getting so much views because it's extremely valuable information there. How to build with Mardok your 5 ultimate legions in Call of Dragons. But yeah, I guess this will be for this video, guys. If you have any questions for any hero, it may not be actually Mardok or any hero, just let me know in the comments below. I'm reading all of my comments, so I'm going to try to respond as fast as I can. So far, go check out this video that I'm going to put here. It may give you some valuable information, also increase your pro skills. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.